Hello, knockouts. Tonya TKO here, and today we're getting ready to listen to the audio of T.I. talking about going to the doctor with his daughter to check her hymen. All of my inboxes are blowing up and people are really reaching out, beseeching me to speak on this. So I'm coming out and I'm going to do the reaction live with you all. So I want to give a special thank you to Antoine Laurent, who queued this up for me so that I would be able to give an authentic live reaction. I wouldn't be able to do these reaction videos without your assistance in helping me get the video without actually hearing the video beforehand. So there's a lot of back and forth that's involved in that behind the scenes. So I appreciate that. And instead of stalling any longer, oh God, I don't want to do this because I don't want to do this, but I feel like this needs to be done. So we're doing it. Come on, let's go forward. Let's go forward.
They could have potential.
1,000%.
Yeah, I agree. I had strict parents, and I hated it. I was the first one. They were so strict with me. But looking back, there are things I'm like, you could have let me go to the dance.
The prom.
I wasn't going to have sex on the dance floor.
Right.
Like, my God.
No, of course not. The backseat of the Buick.
On the way home.
I was a virgin, okay? But,
I heard about what girls who say they're virgins, like what they do. You guys have contingencies.
What's that? Like what?
There are contingencies, alternative routes.
Oh, Lord. So have you had the sex talk with your daughters?
How about we go?
Which, by the way, your daughters are so beautiful.
Thank you.
So beautiful.
So,
Thank you so much.
I'm sure you have your hands full.
And like the other one's 18, so she definitely knows about sex.
See,
But
this
I'm
is
just
the
like,
thing.
Deja, right? She's 18,
Yes,
right?
Deja's 18, just graduated high school now, and she's attending her first year of college, figuring it out for herself. And yes, not only have we had the conversation, we have yearly trips to the gynecologist to check her height.
Oh,
okay. I'm done with you right now.
So,
Do you go with her? She's a prisoner.
Yes, I go with her.
Somebody check on Deja.
I go with her.
She's a prisoner.
So let me tell you, right? So this is one time we go. I think this might have been after her 16th birthday. And this is what we do. Like, right after the birthday, we celebrate. And
we go and check her hymen after.
And then,
what the fuck?
usually like the day after the party, she's enjoying her gifts. I put a sticky note on the door. Yeah, I know. Tomorrow, 9:30.
Oh, this is great.
And so look, right? So we'll go. You know what I mean? We'll go and we'll sit down, and then the doctor will come and talk. And the doctor's maintaining a high level of professionalism. It's like, well, sir, I have to, in order for me to share information. I say, Deja, they want you to sign this. They want you to
sign this right now. I need to know if your hymen's still there.
So we can share information. Is there anything that you would not want me to know? Oh, okay. See, Doc, ain't no problem.
You are the worst.
And so then, right? Then they come and say, okay, well, I just want you to know that there are other ways besides sex that the hymen can be broken.
Right.
Like bike riding,
really,
athletics, horseback riding.
That's aggressive. That is aggressive
and,
riding.
Just other forms of athletic physical activity.
Is she an athlete?
No.
There you
So
go.
I say,
You're like, sorry,
Doc. I say, look, Doc.
She's not.
She don't ride no horses. She don't ride no bike. She don't play no sports, man. Just check the hymen, please, and give me back my results expeditiously.
Expeditiously.
But I will say, as of her 18th birthday, her hymen is still in place.
Deja, you are an angel.
You know what you're doing? You're creating men to be vultures who are like, I'm a virgin.
No. That's all right. I'll tell you another story.
There's no virgins left.
I'll tell you another story.
What's a virgin?
Man, they're no fun. Who wants a virgin?
I can't. You know what? This is precisely why I didn't want to watch this. Because I knew it was going to be some dumb, ignorant shit. Oh, God. And the worst part about it is that I posted the periphery Twitter reenacted transcript of a portion of that on my Facebook page. And I saw black women, black men coming out talking about, oh, this is his daughter. That's a loving father. I wish my father had done this for me. Oh, congratulations, T.I. And I just, you know what? The thing is, I don't know why I'm so upset by this, but there's something just viscerally that I feel revolted by this. That a man would go to the gynecologist with his daughter while she and her legs are cocked open in the next room. For him to sit out there and be like, give me my results. And I'm thinking, what is the point? What is the purpose? Okay, so if her hymen is there or not there, what difference in the grand scheme of things will that make? I'm trying to figure out, will he not pay for her college? We're talking about a young lady who is in her first year of college. He's talking about she's figuring it out on her own. Is she? There's like, you know what? One of the downfalls of doing a reaction video is that the thoughts are all over the place because you don't get a chance to get all of your thoughts together. But let's pull it together. Let's go step by step from the notes that I took. The girls start out talking about, how their parents were strict and they were like, I'm not going to have sex on the dance floor. And then T.I. interjects, no, in the back of the Buick, right? And then he's like, I heard about alternative routes. Well, bitch, if you heard about alternative routes, then why the F are you checking a hymen, bitch? Why are you checking a hymen if you heard about alternative routes? Because when I was growing up, and you see, this is what happens. The hatred for black men starts being programmed early, mainly at the hands of black men. And then when these girls grow up hating black men and hating black penis, then they turn around and talk about why you hate black men because of this. Because of this. We're talking about, first of all, let's go into the stats. Black women categorically are more likely to stick with black men than any other race of people. Asian women are the most likely to date out. So by all intents and purposes, the person who would most likely be finagling around in her nether regions would be a black person. And he is letting it be known straight up and down from the very beginning that there is something wrong with accepting penis. There is something wrong with black dick coming near you. Oh, you don't, look, bitch, I gotta go to the fucking doctor with you to make sure that ain't no niggas been down there. This is where the hatred starts very early on. And for those of you who don't listen to my podcast yet, please come over to my website, TonyaTKO.com/podcast, because we get into longer form content on the podcast where we can dive all in. Let's dive some more. Alternative routes. When I was growing up, I remember the Catholic girls taking it all up in the ass so that the hymen can stay intact, so that they can technically call themselves a virgin. All of this effing confusion All of this confusion, thinking that there is something about the pussy hole, about the pussy opening, that as long as that pussy opening has not been entered, then I am a virgin. What is the purpose? What is the purpose? In 2020, what's the purpose of an intact hymen? He's talking about she don't play no sports, she don't ride no bags, nigga. He's an ignorant ass N-word. I'm so disgusted by him. Your child is 18. She doesn't play any sports or ride a damn bike by the age of 18. It's just so ignorant, and it sounds so controlling, and it sounds so manipulative and so overbearing. And so let's go forward. The ladies, oh, how they laugh, oh, they yucking. Got so upset, my skirt done rose up. Okay. The ladies on that broadcast, cackling. She's a prisoner. I can't with you. You dumbass mother effers. You sitting around there listening to a man talking about when his daughter turns a new age while she's celebrating and opening her presents, that he puts a sticky note that she needs to go to the doctor and get her pussy cracked open in some stirrups to be able for the doctor to make sure and check that a hymen is still there. You cackling, talking about she's a prisoner. Ain't nothing funny about this. And then, like I was saying, I have all of these black women on my doggone Facebook page. Oh, good job. I wish my dad. And it's like, you know what? Listen, I am a self-love specialist. For those of you who don't know, I am Tonya TKO. I'm a self-love specialist from TonyaTko.com. I help you learn how to love yourselves and one another. Most of the women, most of the men who come to my page suffer from some form of self-hatred, some form of self-abuse, some form of being less than self-loving. And so we got black women coming out there co-signing this. Because deep inside of you, there are remnants of self-hatred. Sometimes it's not even deep. Sometimes it's out on the surface, especially when you come forward and you start talking about this is okay. We don't see anybody. Is he taking his son to the doctor to get his tip rammed with Q-tips to make sure that there's no vaginal fluids or anything in there? Because like I said, this is where the hatred of black men begins, purported at the hands of other black men. Because, listen, when a nigga know that he ain't shit, he projects that out onto other people. He's talking about, don't nobody want a virgin? Okay. This is the thing that I'm so confused about. He didn't want a virgin. But yet, he's over here going through all these extremes to make sure that his daughter stays a virgin. Why? I'm really confused. I'm really confused. And this is where having a low esteem woman comes into play. Having a low self-worth woman comes into play when you are able to go and enact foolishness like this. Where is Tiny? Where is Tiny's ass in all of this? Was Tiny a effing virgin at 18? Is his daughter taking it in the ass somewhere, getting herself bust all up inside of her rectum just to make sure that when that yearly time comes to get her pussy propped open, that daddy could be like, oh, good job. I'm really confused. So look, this is part of the benefits of having a low self-worth woman at home, because she lets you get away with dumbass foolishness like this. Let's circle back to my Facebook comments. Oh, yes. Of course. Of course, there are far too many of you out there who co-sign this foolishness, because there's far too many of you out there who wouldn't know how to act if somebody with a micro bit of the amount of quote-unquote handsomeness that this mush-mouth nigga has, if he looked at you, some of you wouldn't even know how to contain your effing selves. If somebody with a little bit of 2 coins rubbed together look your way, you fall out, damn panties exposed and everything, knocked out on the street. You wouldn't even know how to handle yourself. Because when I told you to go out there and make sure that you invest in a good gamble instead of a bad bet, like my course, Will My Man Be Wealthy, on my website, and some of you rejected so much. Oh, I don't want a wealthy man. Of course not, B, because you wouldn't know how to handle one, because you would let him run roughshod through your household, because you don't have the esteem enough to be able to put your feminine foot down. How many of you out there would let yourself get all boxed up, all upside your head, just to be able to have a man that is like this little mush mouth nigga, yeah? That you would allow yourself to get beat down just to say that you have a man that looks a little halfway decent, somebody who would pay attention to you, look twice in your direction. Oh, little me, you don't mean me, do you? You can't be talking about me. Nobody really wants me. Who am I? I'm just some big fat black bitch who really wants a nappy-headed naggeress like me. You like smitty eyes? Oh, pays attention to me. You want to take my daughters to the hospitals and cock open her legs and let the doctor let you know there's still a piece of flesh between her twatty? Oh, take her. Oh, just as long as you pay attention to me. I mean, I just don't understand. Listen, love yourself. Damn it. Love yourself. Love yourself enough to demand good treatment in your relationship. Love yourself enough to advocate for yourself, to advocate for your children. How many of you black women out there got naggers coming up into your home, raping, killing, and bashing your baby's heads up against the wall just so that you could say you have a what? Say it with me. A person? Say it with me. A person with a pain in his soul. Just please let me have a person with a pain at home. Just so you can say you have a person with a penis sitting there, abusing you and your children mentally, physically, sexually, psychologically. This is psychological abuse. How does her worth change if she decides to get to know herself in such a way to be able to receive a man into her body? How does her worth change? It's like those girls were talking about how strict their parents were. What about a conversation? When your child loves themselves, when they care about who it is that they are, when they have self-worth, they make good decisions. When you have a good relationship with them, you're able to talk with them. You're able to trust them. You're able to send them out into the world and know that they're going to be able to do what's in their best interest. It's such a shame that black dick is so disgusting and so downgrading that you got to make sure that your child is not out there a bitch taking black dick. That you got to make sure that whatever it is that you do not let cocky near you. This whole thing is infuriating. It's infuriating. I find this ownership of female bodies by male ownership of female bodies. And it's pervasive throughout our cultures. Women who cannot get, what do you call those things? Their tubes tied. Women who cannot get their tubes tied without their husband's consent. Trying to roll back abortion laws to put women into forced birth categories. Fathers still cocking open their daughters' legs and getting some sort of reports that the hymen is still there. Meanwhile, the girl know how to go out there, bust it down, flip it down, and spin around 360 with a cock in her anus out there. Listen. It's getting ridiculous. 2020, and we're still doing this. some medieval, your worth is in your virginity? At what point does a young lady have the ability to take ownership of her own body? And you know what? There's a part of me that really feels like there's something money related about this. This is why I asked, oh, is he going to stop paying for her college? What's going to happen if the girl decides that she wants to share intimacy with a man? Well, share it vaginally, because we don't know what is going on out there. And it doesn't really seem to matter how many cocks is sucked, how many butts is fucked. It doesn't really seem to matter as long as a thin piece of material, thin piece of thing near the opening is quote unquote still intact. And it should be against the law for any doctor to pass information on about that to a third party. It should be against, this is a grown woman we're talking about. Well, this is a grown young lady, legally grown. She's old enough right now to be able to hopefully been instilled. This is when you know that you've done a bad job as a father. When you got to go cock open your daughter, have your daughter's legs cocked open. This is the whole thing is just so ignorant. I want to hear your thoughts. The thing is just so ignorant. I'm freaking disgusted by this. Did we go over all of the notes? Last thing I'm going to say, did you all peep how he was like, is there something that you don't want me to know? Bitch, that ain't your pussy. You don't need to, what do you need to know about what it is that she's doing? And the thing is that I am a young lady. I have hung around young ladies whose parents are quote unquote strict with this sex and dick thing. And then if you turn around and like pussy want to go down there and dive your face into some muffs, then all of a sudden they're like, what's wrong with you? And you like, nigga, you taught me dick wasn't shit. Why would I want to let a dick into me? Go dive into some muff. Go put your face inside some woman's birdie. And then all of a sudden they're like, why are you gay? Why? It's like, I don't get it and I don't understand it. And it's like these heterosexual, this is what I'm saying. Does it even matter that she's having sexual contact? Because if she was with a young lady smearing her vagina all over her body, would her father be like, let me go get your skin particles CSI tested for vaginal smears? Would he? No. But dick and vaginal sex is the issue. It's just so funny. I'm done. Go out there and love one another. Most importantly, love yourself. Love yourself. And part of loving yourself is, there's a lot here. Breaking away from the things that you've been taught which are not healthy. 2, first examining those things to know what you need to do away with and what you can practice more of. 3, taking the time to think about what programming you've received which may have been less than healthy, realizing that we all have been programmed in different ways. It takes a lot of courage to look at yourself and look at people who are well-meaning. 4, love yourself enough to not just do anything to have a person with a penis near you. And men, love yourselves as men enough to look, if you feel like there's not enough good young men out there, do some volunteer work. Help the youth. Do something. Because we cannot continue the way we've been continuing, teaching boys to go run roughshod through other men's daughters, but then teaching your daughters not to allow anybody inside of her. If there aren't enough good black men out there for your daughter, please, each one teach one. Go start a mentorship program. Do something. Sickening. My book, the Book of Affirmations, Self-Love. This will rewrite your subconscious programming. You've been programmed with a lot of different things going on inside of your heart and mind, inside of your psyche. Get this book. The book is available on Amazon right now. They're shipping it out Prime, 1-day shipping. My book is in the 1-day shipping category. Go get yourself this book. Do it before you go to sleep. I can tell the difference in my own life between when I do the book and when I don't. These are the affirmations, the most powerful. It's a thin, petite book that you can carry with you in your purse to reaffirm yourself as you're going through your day. It's a nice, cute book to put by your bedstand and open up before you go to sleep and do your affirmations. All you have to do is rewrite the affirmations and things change in your life. I can tell the difference. Like sometimes I don't feel always as in the optimal state of self-love in my own life. But I do the book. It helps me propel forward, continue to put one foot in front of the other, continue to strive, continue to make money, continue to be out there in my glory. I want to hear your thoughts. I'm sure there's stuff that I forgot to say. So I would love to hear what it is that you have to say. Make sure that you come over to my website, TonyaTKO.com/subscribe. Subscribe to my mailing list. Check out the podcast. Go to the store. I'm just so upset. Buy yourself hypnotherapeutic MP3s from my website. I got to get out of here. I'm so disgusted. Tonya TKO. Peace.